Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Our planet will perish unless we set Godzilla free.
Listen to the bass go boom.
So this plan is what you would call a long shot.
Well, let's get started.
A thriller. Godzilla has us jumping out of our seats and screaming in terror. Said no one ever. Sorry, Godzilla fans, but this dude just doesn't scare me. Godzilla doesn't evoke the same terror in me that classic horror movies such as The Shining or Annabelle do. Don't misunderstand me though. I'm not trying to say that Godzilla is a terrible movie. I'm just saying that it's not a horror movie, and that the purpose of Godzilla was not to scare the audience. Well then, what's the difference? What makes a horror movie so scary? Well, today, we're going to be analyzing the greatest horror movie of all time. That's right. The Backyardigans. Wait. No. It. We're going to be analyzing it. But specifically the trailer and how it makes Pennywise the Clown seem so scary. Now hold up. You might be asking, how can you just say that it is scary? You don't speak for everyone. Well, a quick Google search can give you countless articles of people writing about nightmares or about how they developed a fear of clowns from it. The same thing just doesn't show up for a movie like Godzilla. Now before we start watching the trailer, we have to put on our literary critic glasses and understand the goal of the producers. As we all know, the producers had one goal, to induce a deep sense of fear in their audience because there's no desire to entertain. Yet no, money. It's always about the money. And in order to obtain this money, they needed people to watch their movie. They needed hype around the movie. In the wise words of Offset, they had to do anything for clout. And what's the best way to gain this clout? Through a thrilling trailer. Pretty sure all of you watching this video remember the It trailer. It was the hottest topic at school when released, and it made It one of the most talked about movies before the full thing was even released. So you have to concede, even if for some reason you don't like It, the stats don't lie. The trailer was a huge success. Why though? What made it so special that it compelled millions of people to watch the full movie and propel it to the #1 grossing spot of all horror movies? That's why I'm here. To analyze Pennywise the Clown and try to uncover why this trailer, built around Pennywise, put so much fear in people and so much desire to see the full movie because of all the suspense. People needed to know what was going to happen, and was he really that scary? Let's get started.
When you're a kid, you think the universe revolves around you.
One of the main aspects of how fearful a monster seems is actually who they are preying on. Starting off the trailer, we can already infer that the children being introduced are going to be the victims. The corruption of something innocent is being shown as we can tell that these kids who are happily playing in the water are going to be scarred by the terrors of the monster.
They think that you'll always be protected and cared for. Then, one day, you realize that's not true. Because when you're alone as a kid, the monsters see you as weaker. You don't even know they're getting closer. Till it's too late.
The narrator speaks and talks about how as a kid, you feel protected and safe. But then he speaks of his realization that this is not true, and that there are dangers out there that specifically prey on the weak. Stephen King, the author, said that it was like his final exam in the horror genre, so he wanted to make the monster a culmination of everyone's fears and place it against normal people. This is unsettling to us because there's no protagonist equal to the monster, and we can relate to the victims, which creates fear in us. This is something that separates horror movies from action and adventure movies. Hold up, did you hear that noise when Pennywise appeared? The music the whole time had been ominous and creepy and sounded like it was leading up to something. Then it quieted, and boom, a loud jarring sound came out that made you jump a little bit. Now let me play you this scene without the sound. Not that scary, right? This technique, known as the jump scare, is very well known and is utilized by most modern horror movies. It's very easy to implement because all you need is a fairly scary scene and a loud sound. Many fancy old critics disagree with it because it's a cheap tactic, right? But there's no doubt that it appeals to the masses, which after all is the point of the trailer, so that the money can be made.
Here. Take it.
Here we see how Pennywise is corrupting his sibling relationship, and for most of us who have siblings, we feel a lot of empathy and sadness for the boy who lost his little brother.
My grandfather thinks this town is cursed. That all the bad things that happen in this town are because of one thing.
Here we see Pennywise in this old newspaper, and it makes him seem eternal and impossible to get rid of. It proves that he is supernatural and makes him seem immortal, which heightens your fear of him. This is similar to Thesis 2 of Monster Theory, which says the monster always escapes, because Pennywise has never been beaten, and just reoccurs at seemingly random times in history, which also adds to the ambiguity, since no one knows why he is back.
An evil thing.
Bill, if you'll come with me, you'll float too.
A creepy kid and a creepy clown. Name a better duo. There really is none. They're both a corrupted version of something that is supposed to be happy and joyous, but it's as if they've been warped across a funhouse mirror into a dark version of themselves. This is similar to how Horror and Maternal and Beowulf work, since a seemingly weaker and more virtuous character of society, the mother, is being corrupted into a vicious monster, similarly to how a happy clown is being made into a murderous creep and a young boy into a demonic child. Dark versions of happy things offer a contrast and make the monster seem scarier, which is a hallmark of horror movies.
I saw something.
The clown. Yeah, I saw him too. You'll float too.
What happens when another Georgie goes missing? Or one of us?
You'll float too.
Are you just gonna pretend it isn't happening like everyone else in this town? If we stick together, we'll win.
This is definitely the scariest part of the trailer. Georgie's shrill voice can be heard increasing in pitch, and clips are being flashed quickly to the rate of the background music. The music's pace and the pace at which clips are being shown are simultaneously increasing, which causes your brain to become more alert and your heartbeat to beat faster since it goes along with the music. Then there is silence, and the biggest jump scare of them all causes your heart to race even faster. The producer did an amazing job at creating fear with these fast and creepy clips. The last thing I'm going to point out is the way Pennywise is being shown in every clip. He is always partially hidden by darkness or a wall, which furthers the ambiguity, and at the end his whole body is shown. This image of Pennywise at full power is truly terrifying.